Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. We'll start with the headlines. Greetings of Tanzanian leadership are conveyed to His Majesty the Sultan by Her Excellency the Speaker of the National Assembly of Tanzania during the meeting with His Highness Said Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Saeed. The Gulf Conference for Water discusses in Muscat challenges facing improvement of water efficiency in the GCC countries. The Minister of Manpower announces that procedures to allow movement between government and private sectors are soon to be applied. And health and environment are the most important topics discussed in the WHO's Regional Committee for the Middle East's round. Those are the headlines, and now for the news in details. Her Excellency Anna Makenda, Speaker of the National Assembly in Tanzania, continued her visit to the Sultanate, during which she was received today by His Highness Said Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Saeed, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers. More details with Saif bin Khalfan Al Kindi.
His Highness Said Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Saeed, Deputy Prime Minister for the Affairs of the Council of Ministers, received Her Excellency Anna Makenda, Speaker of the National Assembly of the United Republic of Tanzania, and her accompanying delegation alongside her visit to the Shura Council. During the meeting, His Highness spoke of the deep ties and bilateral relations between the two countries. He also discussed means of enhancing the bilateral relations, boosting cooperation and coordination between the Sultanate and Tanzania to serve the interests of the two countries. On her turn, Makenda and her accompanying delegation expressed their happiness for visiting the Sultanate. She wished relations between the two friendly countries further progress. She also praised the development being witnessed by the Sultanate under the leadership of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos bin Said. She expressed her gratitude towards the great building of Oman Council with its facilitative features. She pointed out,
"We're impressed that the two houses are meeting in the same area, joined with the House of Councillors, where they can meet and discuss ideas. So it's really a visionary leadership which he has been able to put in his own country."
She also called for more coordination between the Joint Parliamentary Committee to share ideas, particularly encouraging women to play a wider role in the parliamentary work. Makenda pointed out,
"So far we have initiated the idea, but as we are continuing, they will have some meetings and we will sign some MOU whereby we agree on which areas the Tanzania-Oman Parliamentary Friendship Association can perform. Maybe also to follow up our governments on different agreements which they make between our country and your country."
Alongside her visit, Her Excellency Anna Makenda will visit tomorrow Sohar Industrial Zone to be briefed with the huge investment opportunities available in the zone, particularly in the industrial and the economy fields. Saif Al Kindi for English News, Muscat.
His Highness Said Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Saeed, Deputy Prime Minister for the Council of Ministers, received in his cabinet today their Excellencies, heads of the delegations participating in the 11th Gulf Conference for Water in the Gulf Cooperation Council countries. His Highness welcomed the guests, wishing them to reach the targeted results. His Highness reviewed the importance of water resources and the needs for bringing together all efforts to limit negative impacts on water health, indicating that the Sultanate puts as priority the development of its water resources as a main pillar for sustainable development. The talks dealt with ways of enhancing water resources through using the latest technology and the necessity for continuous coordination in studies and researches to develop water resources and other natural resources. Their Excellencies, the heads of the delegations, expressed their thanks to the Omani government for hosting the conference, forwarding their gratitude to His Majesty the Sultan and praising the achievements in the Sultanate under the leadership of His Majesty in all aspects. It was attended by His Excellency Dr. Fuad bin Jafar Sajwani, Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries increase wealth, and His Excellency Dr. Abdul Latif bin Rashid Zayani, Secretary General of the Gulf Cooperation Council. The 11th Gulf Conference for Water, which was opened today under the auspices of His Highness Sayyid Shihab bin Tariq Al Saeed, revealed that water wastage in the Gulf Cooperation Council GCC countries reached about 40%. The GCC countries, which are geographically located in a scarce water area, face challenges of providing water through desalination. The experts taking part in the conference discussed new strategies to manage water efficiently. His Excellency Dr. Abdul Latif bin Rashid Zayani, Secretary General of the Gulf Cooperation Council, stated that the strategy of a water network among the GCC countries is available and was assigned to a house of expertise, all whose affiliates are from the GCC countries. He added that they are working hard to prepare a high-level study in managing efficient levels of water at low prices for all GCC citizens. The conference showcased policies and plans on how to make use of water from dams, wells and fellages with a great dependence on desalinated water. His Excellency Engineer Ali bin Muhammad Al-Abri, Under Secretary of the Ministry of Regional Municipalities and Water Resources for Water Resources, stated that the studies conducted with regard to water consumption showed that there is a great wastage of water in various sectors such as agriculture. Shura Council Office discussed during its meeting today replies of Their Excellencies the Ministers, namely the reply of His Excellency the Minister of Regional Municipalities and Water Resources on the request to cover the water levels in the Governorate of Dhofar and employees of wastewater plants in the Governorate of Dakhiliya, as well as the reply of His Excellency the Chairman of Muscat Municipality on Hassan Yiti Heights Road and the letter of the Omani Holding Company for Environment Services on the project of running a garbage sector in the Governorate of South Batna. They also reviewed the letter of the Middle East Center for Social Consultancy and Studies on recommendations of the Second International Conference of E-Trade. It was presided over by His Excellency Khalid bin Hilal Mawali, Chairman of the Shura Council. The Sultanate handed over the presidency of Regional Committee of World Health Organization (WHO) for the Middle East in its 61st round to Tunisia, after a year during which the Sultanate presented a number of medical topics such as polio. The Sultanate's delegation was headed by His Excellency Dr. Ahmed bin Mohammed Al-Saidi, Minister of Health, who said that health and environment was one of the key topics discussed in the Sultanate of Oman. In his speech, he also stressed the Sultanate's role in redeeming success for recommendations and programs suggested in previous rounds held in Muscat at the end of October last year. The two-day round discussed 5 topics, among which were approaches to eliminate polio, ways of preventing the Ebola virus, initiatives to leave tobacco behind, reaching regional development to target the combat of HIV, as well as issues of world health and security, and implementation of the United Nations General Assembly's political advertisement on non-communicable diseases and combating them. 16 ministers and delegations from 22 countries took part in the event, during which His Excellency Mohammed Saleh bin Ammar, Tunisian Minister of Health, received the presidency. Romani-British Joint Work Group held its 7th meeting at the premises of the British Foreign Ministry in London. During the meeting, they agreed to enhance cooperation between the two friendly countries in education, culture, health, economy, trade and investment. The two sides expressed the satisfaction for the support given to the Romani-British Association activities in learning and gaining knowledge through lectures and meetings, as well as providing opportunity for Omani and British youth, including scholarships and training in both countries. It was presided over by His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Hamad bin Hamoud al-Busaidi, Secretary General of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, with the attendance of Tobias Ilwood, Minister of State for Foreign Affairs for the Middle East region. His Excellency Sheikh Abdullah bin Nasser al-Bakri, Minister of Manpower, stated to the Sultanate of Oman Radio and Television that the government took some procedures regarding the system of employment in government sector, where those working in private sectors and job seekers are given the opportunity to compete on government job vacancies. He said that procedures to allow movement between government and private sectors are soon to be applied. He also added that the government is exerting efforts to organize labor markets in the Sultanate in cooperation with the bodies concerned. He said the government believes the private sector is the main operative of national manpower. He further added that the labor law was discussed by all production parties and the project will serve future visions. The Ministry of Manpower signed 13 agreements to train 392 citizens in administrative, technical and crafts fields with a cost of more than 1.5 million Omani riyals. It also signed an agreement to establish new buildings in Nizwa Technical College that include classes, laboratories and offices with a cost exceeding 2.5 million Omani riyals. From the government's part, the agreements were signed by His Excellency Sheikh Abdullah bin Nasser al-Bakri, Minister of Manpower, and from the training bodies, they were signed by their representatives. The agreements aim to prepare and qualify national Omani cadres in crafts and administrative fields, as well as enhance their capabilities so as to join the labor market. And still to come in our news bulletin. The Royal Oman Police launched a traffic campaign under the theme, "Thank you for abiding by the speed limits." Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. The Sultanate participated in the works of the Delegates Conference, which was held in Busan in South Korea on communications and information technology sector. This conference is considered as the biggest international event for policymakers. It attracted about 3,000 participants from more than 192 member countries of the International Telecommunication Union. It determined strategic direction of the Union and established policies and recommendations to meet developing needs for Federation members in the future. The Sultanate's delegation was chaired by His Excellency Dr. Ahmed bin Mohammed al-Ftaisi, Minister of Transport and Communications. The 4th Oman International Trade Event for Infrastructure and Industrial Projects, Infra Oman 2014, started at the Oman International Exhibition Center today under the auspices of His Excellency Engineer Mohsen bin Mohammed al-Sheikh, Chairman of Muscat Municipality. It was considered a direct gateway to the opportunities in this sector, enabling companies to play a prominent role in the country's development and thereby ensuring success on a large scale. It witnessed a participation from over 200 local and international companies. The exhibition will focus on construction requirements, green and future buildings, heavy equipment and technologies, industrial manufacturing, tools and equipment, transportation and logistics, as well as building and supply and other development projects. A press conference was held at the National Center for Diabetes and Endocrinology on the Sultanate's organization of Oman Diabetes Summit 2014 to be held on the 8th of November, coinciding with the World Diabetes Day, celebrated annually on the 14th of November globally. The press conference was organized by the Omani Diabetes Association in cooperation with a number of other associations. The conference endeavors to increase exerted efforts to overcome diabetes and its dangerous side effects and to upgrade the health level and spread awareness on the modern methods followed in the treatment of this disease, which is considered one of the most common among societies. It touched upon the Sultanate's participation by organizing the first international conference, Oman Diabetes Summit 2014, on the 8th of the next month, which will handle a number of important topics in the field of diabetes to be discussed by international specialists. Workshops will be held during the summit in addition to a health exhibition and medical consultations regarding this aspect, as well as recommendations. Royal Army of Oman celebrated the graduation of recruits at the parade ground of training regiments of Sultan's armed forces. The ceremony included a military show through slow march accompanied with the Royal Army of Oman's music band. The chief guest, then Major General Amr bin Salim Al-Amri, commander of the Sultan's Special Forces, honored top graduates and toppers in various activities and competitions. Muscat municipality stated that Muscat Festival 2015 will be launched on the 19th of January until the 18th of February. It will have international activities and will take place on many locations in the Sultanate. Its main activities will include the Omani Heritage Village, the International Village for Crafts and Arts, Family and Children's Village, laser shows, fireworks, entertainment center, shopping exhibitions and other entertainment shows. The second Dates Festival, organized by the Public Authority for Small and Medium Enterprises Development in cooperation with the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth and the Arab Exhibition Gate, was concluded today. The 5-day festival, held in the Wilaya of Nizwa, was patronized by His Excellency Sheikh Dr. Khalifa bin Hamad bin Hilal Al-Saidi, Governor of Dakhiliya. More than 50 small and medium enterprises were keen to display their date products, varied in quantity and quality. Participating bodies were honored during the festival, which witnessed remarkable interaction by visitors. Gifts and awards were also distributed to toppers in the festival's competition, particularly date factories, date home packing units, and farmers. The Scouts and Guides in the Wilaya of Deba and the Governorate of Musandam participated in the two biggest international events for communication through radio network and the internet. Activities of the 57th International Scout Camp for Radio Amateurs and 18th International Scout Camp for the Internet. The event witnessed the participation for almost 1.5 million Scouts and Guides from around the world, while aiming to develop friendship ties among Scouts and Guides, as well as their hobbies in the field of communication, technology, so as to exchange experiences and expertise in the field of Scouts and Guides. It's worth mentioning that the Scouts and Guides in the Sultanate achieved the first place internationally during 2005 up to 2013. Royal Oman Police launched a traffic campaign under the theme "Thank you for abiding by the speed limit" at the Traffic Safety Institute today. The ceremony was patronized by His Excellency Nasser bin Sulaiman Al-Saybani, Deputy Chairman of the Public Authority for Radio and Television, attended by Major General Assistant Inspector General of Police and Customs for Administrative and Financial Affairs. A documentary film was shown on the Royal Oman Police's efforts to prevent traffic accidents. Brigadier Engineer Mohammed bin Awad al-Rawas presented a visual show on this campaign. This is the Sultanate of Oman Television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. Greetings of the Tanzanian leadership are conveyed to His Majesty the Sultan by Her Excellency the Speaker of the National Assembly of Tanzania during the meeting with His Highness Said Fahad bin Mahmoud Al Said. The Gulf Conference of Water discusses in Muscat challenges facing improvement of water efficiency in the GCC countries. The Minister of Manpower announces that procedures to allow movement between government and private sectors are soon to be applied. And health and environment are the most important topics discussed in the WHO's Regional Committee for the Middle East. With that, we come to an end to tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, good night.